Namaste, wayward souls. Thank you for joining me once again. So, this is going to be the first of a series I would like to carry on. And if you are joining me from the soulful aspect of everything, I hope that you'll stick around for this part. However, I do understand it may not be for everyone. This is my long hauler diary series. I don't know. I haven't thought of a name yet, but this is a part that's affecting my life at this very moment and part of what is taking me through another dark night. And if you're joining me just for this diary series, well, I apologize if some of the other things are just out there, but I do want to speak up for us, for the long haulers. Long COVID is something that happens to some folks that have experienced COVID. You know what? I watch enough YouTube. I should know I shouldn't use that word. So maybe I'll say the cove. I don't know. So once you have it, even if you've had a mild case or maybe you were hospitalized, they, I guess, so far have not come out with any rhyme or reason as to who gets it and why they get it and how long it lasts and what symptoms you have. It's still unknown, a little uncertain, and that leaves somebody like me in between a rock and a hard place. And when I say someone like me, I mean somebody who seeks a lot, seeks for answers or truth or a lot of things. And I may or may have not posted the video about my father. I did record one. I just am not sure the right time to post it. But basically, not just basically, it's kind of a big deal. I lost my father to the cove. And I got the cove from him. And he was actually vaxxed. So, I have not been, and I obviously was not at the time either. So there is some controversy, especially for someone like me who didn't really believe in getting that in the first place. And that is completely irrelevant, but it makes it hard because I lost him and he was just trying to do the right thing. And so for me, I got it from him because I took care of him. And I don't blame him. I would risk my life again if it meant saving him or even caring for him in his final days. But this diary is a lot about the long hauler. But that also makes it even more passionate and more of a thing for me in my life. So, when I got the cove, you know, even though he had just went to the hospital, I wasn't even thinking that I might have it. It's not that I thought I was invincible, but I don't know. But it came on like nobody's business. I suddenly, actually, so I was sleeping that night and I was already restless. Dad was in the hospital and so I thought I couldn't sleep because I was restless, but then my body started to ache, and it's not like aching like flu aching. It's like joints. Like I wanted to get out of bed and stretch and do yoga and crack every bone and stretch like my joints, my hips, my knees, my wrists, my neck, just everything. So then that same moment, I just got cold. I was so cold, and this was in, well, end of March, April this year, 2021. It was still a little chilly. Mind you, we live in fabulous sunny Las Vegas, so not real cold. But I couldn't get warm. So I ran a hot bath, and I thought I just need to relax because Dad's in the hospital, and sorry, I can't find my selfie stick. Dad's in the hospital, and I need to relax. He's in good care, I like to believe. So relax. I think I finally fell asleep, but the next day I realized it's, you know, you ever have that I think I have a fever. Can you feel my forehead? Do I have a fever? But it was not that way. I just knew I had a fever. And I did 101. So for 3 days, 3 symptoms. Pretty basic. Not horrible, but I was sick. Um, I kind of joke that I didn't enjoy it much because Dad was sick. More sick, very sick. And so my mind was not about me. I didn't even tell him I was feeling sick because I didn't want him to feel guilty. And so I might have ignored certain things. Anyways, 3 days, 3 symptoms. This was a Monday night. So by Wednesday, I killed it. I crushed it. No more fever. I felt fine. I was trying to do the mind over matter because I just wanted to go see my dad. And thankfully, it did happen in a time where the hospitals weren't overwhelmed and they were allowing us to go up there. But I had to present a negative test. And it was so horrible here, I didn't get my test. I mean, I got it done on Monday. I still didn't have the results. So I already knew, I'm not going to be negative yet. So let me just heal myself and get better. Maybe I'll give him antibodies. Anyway, so that was a Thursday. I'm feeling good. I did, though. I scheduled a rapid test for Friday because I was like, I'm not waiting that long. I want to see him. But Friday I woke up with new symptoms. My eye was swollen. This one. I'll try to post some videos. I'm not good at this video stuff, so I'll do my best. Not video, probably a picture. Swollen. Bad. Red. But not my eye, not my eyeball. Because I had read that you could get red, pink eye. But I do have some family members that are related with healthcare, and they're like, yeah, if you don't have the gooey stuff, it doesn't itch, your eyeball's not even red. Anyways, went to the urgent care. She's like, oh, you don't deal with cove. I'm like, I'm not asking you to deal with it. I'm asking what's wrong with my eye. Rant and rave. If you don't know, Sin City is actually one of the worst cities for healthcare. I don't blame any doctors or any nurses. I don't know who to blame. I try not to blame. But I already knew I'm not going to get help I need. But it did make me worried about Dad too. Anyway, so Friday I woke up with a whole new world of symptoms. Swollen. That's when I lost my taste and smell. And I'll tell you what, that's an experience you can't even imagine until you go through it. Like, you think, oh, that's just weird. No, I remember, so I'm kind of a prepper. I needed mayonnaise, so I went to my little pantry, brand new mayonnaise, checked the date because I knew I needed to start rotating some stuff. And it was expired, but only by 2 or 3 months, and it was sealed. But I couldn't even smell it to see if it was good enough to eat. And wow. That's trouble. That could be dangerous, right? So what if you're drinking bad milk? So here in Vegas, I have purchased milk that was bad and was not supposed to be bad. I think it does have a lot to do with the heat. Maybe they have a hard time keeping stuff, So I'm not a huge milk drinker. I don't do a whole lot of dairy anymore. Yeah, another story. But those things were weird. I lost my sense of smell and taste. My eye was ridiculous, and it kind of turned into a really bad cold at that point. So that was that Friday. All through the weekend, just not good. But I came out of my quarantine early that next week, so excited. Didn't have any fever, none of that, so I wasn't contagious. I did lose my daddy that week, and I did get to see him. I did get to go in and, say goodbye, and again, another video. So a month goes by. I went back home to the Midwest for a funeral, and about a month goes by, and in the meantime, I could feel my eye kind of dropping. I felt, that feeling, if you cross your eyes, I'm not going to do it because I'll look silly. If you cross your eyes, you can feel it. Well, it felt like this eye just kept drifting to go cross-eyed or drop like a lazy eye. And I told people, watch my eye when I talk. But they didn't notice anything. It was just me feeling it. And I was getting blurry double vision. And that was happening from the time that my eye was swollen until even right now. Um, I'm just able to kind of control it a little better. I'm very careful when I'm checking my blind spots. I don't move fast. If I get up slow. If, especially morning and night, I get really dizzy when I first wake up, or if I'm laying in bed, it's like, okay, I have to reset my body to realize I'm laying down or that I'm getting up. Those kinds of things. And so anyways, come back from Midwest, went to the ophthalmologist, and he was concerned because at that point it was just my eye kind of lingering. Insurance denied, CT scan, blah blah blah. I'm like, whatever, me being the way I am, a seeker, I already was a little concerned because people were dying months after COVID. They would have blood clots and strokes and things that happened later. So I was well aware of the long hauler. I knew something wasn't right, but I'm not hypochondriac. I'm not overreactor. Kind of a realistic, trying to rule things out before yeah. So then honestly, it was like crazy. A week after I went to the ophthalmologist, more symptoms. My hands and feet were like going numb. Like I could sit here right now and they're just numb. I could be walking and they go numb. So, and I'm actually a very active person. Even if it's just in my house, I like to rearrange, but I also resell. So a matter of keeping things organized or pulling things out to sell and then hanging them on the wall to post them. And so it's not that I was not moving and being mobile. So the hands and feet tingling and numbness soon, like within days, turned into nerve pain that was shooting up my arms and then down my legs, actually down and up. So my joints start hurting again too, mostly my hips and my knees. And then it was like it combined into one. The nerve pain would shoot from my buttocks down the back, mostly the back, like my hamstrings, and then it would shoot up my feet and meet at my knees. And part of the description I could give you was kind of feeling like shin splints. An ex-athlete, it was like shin splints mixed with some nerve pain in the ankles. And my feet, I could see my feet. You ever had those dots on your feet where you can tell it's poor circulation, or maybe you sit cross-legged for too long and they go numb and fall asleep, and then they look funny with the white and red dots. Mine just looked like that all the time, and they felt like that all the time for almost a month. And well, in the meantime, so about 2 weeks after those initial nerve symptoms, I was sitting here posting stuff for sale, and I felt this shooting pain at my neck, just instant. And I'm like, oh my god, I was so scared. And I tried to walk it off. I took a cool shower, deep breath, what is this? And it was very scary because I was still experiencing the other pains, but bearable. I'm no punk. Yeah, I can handle pain, but it's scary because you don't know why. You've never experienced it. So 3 days in a row, I had constant and sometimes even moments of like extreme. I can feel it shooting, like something shooting up my neck, but then constantly hurting. And then at times I could feel it move into my face, kind of like a toothache. My face just hurt from a toothache, but my tooth didn't hurt. And then I could feel it go into my ear, almost like an earache, and then back into my eye where I had the initial eye issues. So I'm like, wow, this like gotta be all connected. And anyways, I did though. I had a bag packed. I was ready to go to the ER. Even my ophthalmologist, once we realized my insurance was not going to help me, he said, if you even get a headache, I need you to go to the ER. Like, don't play with it. And love the guy. But I'm like, I'm going to no ER. Like, I know half the doctors probably are going to disregard a lot of things. So I still didn't go to the ER. Plus, I live alone and I have 2 cats. They're my world. What am I going to do? I can't leave them. So a lot held me back, but didn't help me. So although I was, even before then, calling around looking for doctors, but appointments weren't available till August, and some of them weren't taking new patients, and but at this point I need help because that's not normal to have that kind of pain. And I finally got an appointment, met with, well, I don't even feel like talking about the mess at the doctor's office right now, but they did labs and blood tests. Actually, they ran like 10 labs, so that was pretty cool. I don't even know what some of them were like called, but I did look up all of the results that came back abnormal or high, which were quite a few. I had white blood count, my hemoglobin. You know what? I should have brought the paper over here. So a lot of things were going wrong, and came back abnormal and high and concerning, considering I'm a seeker and I've already seen tons of research. I've joined support groups. I've heard people say the same symptoms. I've heard people mention what has helped them or what doctors have done to help them, because some of them have found some really good doctors. So amen to those that care or care to learn or want to know. Somebody said it very well, we are actually the teachers. We are the ones telling them how we feel and hoping that they can put those pieces together and figure it out, because it's still new. And sometimes it's controversial for me to understand how you can create a vax for something that we don't know how to cure once we're sick, and we don't know effects later on in life, whether we get the V or not. But that's beside the point. The point is, you know what, and I'll just use this as my opening video because I'll do a different one about my blood tests. I'm not a doctor. I don't know. I only know what I know. And once I try to know, I realize how much I don't know, if you get that. So I've learned a lot. I connect a lot of dots. I think I do a pretty decent job about it. I think I do an even better job of agreeing that I still don't know as much as I've sought and as much as I've explored other documentaries. I do have a playlist. It's called C19. So those are just a few that I've saved. I keep forgetting to save some of them. I don't know what's truth. I don't know what... I think everybody might have a different lingering effect. There are different symptoms, long hauler symptoms. So I just want to share what is happening with me, and a lot for myself too, because honestly, like the brain fog part of it, you'll notice whether you're here for this video or you watch another one, I'm like, what's that word? Oh my gosh, wait, what was I talking about? And I may seem scatterbrained, and when you're trying to start a new YouTube channel and you want people to believe you, or that's tough. So it is what it is, kind of. I remember wearing the wrong shoes out to the store one day. I got there and it's too hot to be driving around town. Just go in and you'll laugh about it later. But it's not really funny all the time, because it could be life-changing. There's nerve damage and cell damage, and oh, see, I forgot. How could I forget? My taste and smell was lost again, so I got it back like 2 weeks after I initially lost it after the infection, and then it came back about a month later. I didn't even realize that I had lost it again until I'm like, why does everything taste so bland? But you know what? I wish it tasted bland, and I wish I didn't smell, because now I smell like, well, my first word that I used to describe it to my friend was death. It smells like death is upon me, like rotten flesh, and I don't think I've ever smelled rotten flesh. But if I could smell it, it was that. And then I even started to think I was crazy, and I walked around the house. I thought maybe an animal had died. It's really hot here. But then, I don't leave the house too much, but when I would leave, I could still smell it. It was in my nose. It was not even the way I was smelling. It was my breath. It was my air. My smell all the time was death and rotten and nasty. And now I've noticed it comes and goes. Not the ability to smell. So if I don't smell rotten, then I don't smell, which is fine. I'd rather not smell. But sometimes it's that chemical. It feels like it's like altering, or something triggers it. And sometimes I think it's the heat, because like yesterday everything flared up. It was such a bad day. I ended up having to take the epilepsy medicine that they've given me, because I knew I needed to just sleep it off and had to wait for another day. I woke up kind of hungover from the pills. It felt good. I still feel like a little high from it. But I told my doctor, I don't want to mask it. How am I supposed to monitor my symptoms if I can't feel them? So, anyways, yeah, I just kind of go off sometimes. But the smell, it's so weird. If I haven't left the house today and I don't have bad smell, I don't have any smell unless I try to smell. Does that make sense? So if I go up and grab the shampoo bottle and do it smells like a chemical. If I wash my hands, I can smell chemical. I remember one time I thought, maybe my house, I need to clean it. And I might be messy, but I'm not dirty. I will vacuum and I will mop and I will sweep, because I don't want those big ass bugs outside in my house. So I got the stuff that's clean, but the cleaner smelled like the smell I was smelling. So I knew, yeah, no. Good news, can't smell the kitty litter, but I know I feed them a lot and they use it a lot, so I gotta keep it clean. Anyways, this is again just my opener to my long sea journey. Thought I'd keep a diary. You know what? My goal is to just reach complete humility, which I already do. I just don't broadcast on YouTube until now. And I'm not scared anymore. I've never been scared. But I don't have anything to lose. I lost my father. I do believe in shadow banning. I believe in, I probably shouldn't say that. A lot of things, when you speak up and you speak the truth, your humility. I understand. I do have friends and family that tell me not to talk about it, to tell me people don't want to hear your sad story, or I'm not asking anybody to feel sorry for me, but somebody's got to speak up. Somebody has to help other people through it. Nobody's really helping. I can't say nobody. I'm not going to go there, because I have some people that ride or die, and I love you. You know who you are. Thank you. But nobody's getting anywhere by hiding and being ashamed of how they feel and being ashamed of sharing their humility. So if you catch me when I'm down or when I'm angry or just speaking my truth. So there's a lot more to all that story, and I just did not want to drag it out. I just kind of want this to be like my opening and what I plan to share, and you can decide if this is something for you. Then you can like and subscribe and all that stuff the YouTubers say. I'm trying not to be that girl, but I mean, I guess that's how you get notified. I can't say I guess. I do it every day. I follow so many people. If you catch any of my links or playlists in the back and find other folks to follow, awesome. Because if I follow them, I trust them. I've probably fact-checked them, and I don't believe everything, but keep an open mind and just respect and love each other. And thank you for listening if you made it this far. Namaste. I'll see you again.